Hey, good morning, guys. I know that if you go straight to the week at a glance today, it shows you that we are supposed to be working on an Indian removal handout on TeacherMate, but I have added right above that a study guide. And this is because we have a test tomorrow, and the students just had a choice today. They could continue with this paper, step 2 here, which has information that I think you all got from the video yesterday, or we can kind of try and sum up and review for our test tomorrow on Unit 7. So what you're looking at now is the week at a glance. I'm going to go to announcements because that is where I have put the study guide post. And so if you look here, you can see, let me just make this a little bigger, that you can use the link below to find the study guide for tomorrow's Unit 7 test. If you'd like to complete the study guide to prepare, upload a screenshot of it, of page 2 by 8 p.m. tonight, and I will send you back a copy with which questions you missed and the correct answers, but it has to be received by me on Canvas by 8 p.m., not email, okay? And the reason for that is I need time to respond and also to, be done so that I can get some sleep. So you'll just click right here on Unit 7 Study Guide. You'll just see that I say it's helpful for tomorrow's tests, and if you get it done by 8 p.m., you can upload it by clicking here. You'll upload a picture of page 2. And so the first page of it is a mind map that I made, and you saw that over here on this side of the screen. And what I did on this mind map is going to be discussed in this video in just a few minutes. And then the next part, and so you'll see it right here, the second page is a summary page on the topics that we've been studying, on the issues and problems. Now remember, an issue doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing, it just has to be something you can deal with, like you have to deal with that. And then the actions they took or the reforms they made about it, and then the impact, like how did that change stuff. So while you're watching the video, just pay attention to what I'm saying in the video and where I'm moving my mouse, which you can see currently right now over here on the second side of the study guide. We're picking up right in here, the beginning right here, moving to the frontier.
Right? That means more land. We're moving west. Who's on that land? Yep. So what do? They pass this law, and they force them across to move. And we looked at that video yesterday.
Okay, and so what I'm talking about here is how on this, the arrows flow. The red arrows. So you've got moving here, and then you move to the essential question, how did factories change stuff, a list of the inventions, and how that meant that slavery would spread west and that you would see plantations move west. And who was already on that land would be the Indians, and so that's when you see the Indian Removal Act. So that's kind of how I'm following the red lines.
So that's what this is right here. My best attempt at stick figures moving west.
Yep, right here.
But you can see where it says Midwest, Indian Removal Act leads to Trail of Tears.
Midwest.
You can also notice on here, I've color coded it. So if it's happening in the South, it's colored orange. If it's happening in the West, it's green. And if it's happening in the North, then it would be blue. Okay. All of that leads to this state of our nation right here. And so this over here talks about what's different. And that's what you need to fill in right now. And I'll do that with you so that you can see exactly where to write. I'm circling industrialize and drawing in arrows to hydroelectric power. And then that's where you wrote factories.
Right, factories right here.
And immigrant labor.
And immigrant labor right here.
So let's look at the differences between the economy and the technology and the culture in the North. What would you say it was like here? What's blue for economy? Where do you see blue stuff?
See it here.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
I forgot to color this one in blue.
Color and industrialize. You could circle and color that in blue.
See this right here? That's the shape, same shape,
Right here is what I was talking about.
okay? So what's their economy? How do they make money?
And you guys wrote it
Huh?
over here.
Yeah, factories and somebody has to work, so who? Technology. What are we talking about in the north? Mm-hmm. So they're looking at these, and I would write inventions so that you know to go back over here and look at what these inventions are, right? And culture. Culture is how we worship, how we dress, how we talk, what we eat, what we believe in as like morals. What happens when immigrants come to the country? And now you've got new people coming from over in Europe, okay? So immigrants come over here, right? And when they come over here, all the way back from the 1800s, it didn't matter what race they were. What mattered was they were different. That's a theme in history. You said a word called diverse, and that's true. They do is they introduce new, I'm going to put ways of life, right? And you can also put for culture, I'm just going to write it over here. You had cities, was it more urban? So the reason why immigrants came at this part of history in the early 1800s is because they couldn't have land over in Europe, right? And we're specifically talking about the Northeast right now. Don't forget immigration and movement and people are all still in the West already. So all of that's happening. And they're bringing that with them in the cities and they live a city type life. How is that different from the South? The South's economy is based on what? Slavery is the labor, yeah. And what is the like role? Like what? I'll take farming, I'll take agriculture. All of this leads to something. What's all this going to lead to? We have different ways of thinking, different cultures, different economies, different technology, different labor forces, north and south, different. What's happening?
You just follow the arrow here.
So go down here. Let's read this little section right here. It says nationalism and sectionalism. Nationalism drew regions together. So an example of nationalism would be the War of 1812. We kicked Great Britain's butt again. Woo! We are American. Oh, did it. Yeah, whole country, yes. Very proud, right? Okay. Yada, 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 right? A few years later, we're moving west. And as we move west, these people are taking that Southern slave-holding way of life with them, and they don't see a need for it anymore. And so you have two different sections of the country based on two very different things. That creates sectionalism, regional differences, including representation government, and this is probably led to feelings of loyalty to the region or section of the country that you called home, and that's over loyalty to the nation. You felt more identity with your area of the country than you did the country as a whole. It'd be like if you went to a foreign country and they said, where are you from? And instead of saying the United States of America, you said the South. I say, where are you from in the United States of America? You'd be like, the South. Because you like that. Or you don't, I don't know. But still, you identify with it, right? Okay. So now what leaves? It's the North. It's the South. We no longer see each other as whole. What's going to happen? Slavery's in the mix. Yeah, which one? So it'll be the Civil War. So that's what's going to end up happening, is the Civil War. So our next unit is going to be, we're going to talk about this expansion. We're going to talk about all the Band-Aids we tried to put on this slavery problem. Put that over. Okay, so, if you'll open your Chromebook to the optional study guide, it's in the announcement. I think you're probably already there. Is that right? Okay. Can you see this word bank? And then the other thing I had planned, you can just do after the test. It's on Native. Okay.